Oh, I'm starting at the back. Race has fuel consumption. Refueling takes place in the pits. Alright, I need to keep an eye on that. This video is brought to you by the Twitch area of my website. Check out my stream schedule and what I'll be playing each stream, as well as info on emotes, sub badges, donation sounds, and more at bruffy.com/twitch. Last to first, let's go. I mean, I'm just gonna pick my way through the carnage at the start, honestly. Like I said. Okay, well, I mean, if you're just gonna get people lodged, like, I'm getting 15 places just from taking it easy at the start. And picking my way through the nonsense. Alright, fuel consumption's at the bottom. I need to keep an eye on what that is. I'm gonna have to use the next lap as a guide, I think. Reminder that 8th gear lag is front to back. So the front of your car on other people's screen is basically half a car length further ahead than what it is on your screen. Well, that's one way to get 2/3 up the field in half a lap. Seem to be losing quite a bit of fuel on one lap. It's a 20-minute race. I think we're going to have to do multiple pit stops. Did we start with 60? Alright, we were at 38.5, I think. That's not good. That shouldn't be there. Lift and coast. Didn't we figure out last time that it was time-based, though? I can't remember what conclusion we drew. Because the last 8th gear stream was cursed. And on a Wednesday of all days. Was time-based according to Flambe. I thought so. So you can't really influence it based on the way that you drive. We're going to have to pit every 3 laps, right? See, hit him in the back from the brake boost. We're going to have to pit at the end of this lap. Which variant of LSGP is this? It's the full track. The normal one. The 2 variants are the upper loop and lower loop. I guess you've also got the FiveM exclusive North Loop LSGP variant. Well, this hasn't been a bad start. In the first 3 laps, I've gone from, well, it was the first 2 laps really, 43rd and second last on the grid to 8th place. It's a pretty good return, that. Everybody pitting. Not surprising. Refueling. Horn is annoying. Taking a while to refuel. Track is very quiet. See, this is the thing with the refueling. That you've got to really work it out and plan ahead as a race host to not make it just like this, where everybody pits at the same time, everybody's on the same strategy. It's going to come down to how many laps are left, and we're going to have to work out the best way to pit and how much fuel to put in at the end. But that'll sort itself out towards the end. For now, we can just keep going. I'm just filling up fully all the way, every time. You can do some spreadsheeting while it fills. Yeah, I use the next pit stop to try and work stuff out. Okay, so now I'm down in 22nd. How has that happened? Did people pit on lap 1 or something? Have we actually got multiple different strategies going on? That'll shake out differently towards the end. Because really you just want to minimise the amount of pit stops you do for the best overall time in the race. But that will depend on how many laps we end up having to do. So if someone who's pitted on lap 1 just doesn't have to do another pit stop any more than those who are pitting on lap 3, then they've not lost out. Someone's run out of fuel there on the inside. It could also be people, yeah, not getting the calculations right. This will be interesting though. We've still got 13 minutes left. It'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out. So I was in 8th before the first pit stop, which I was in, like, I was in the top 10 almost after the first lap anyway, so I don't think I gained positions in that first segment of the race because people pitted in front of me. But it'll be interesting how it shakes out towards the end. I wasn't expecting there to be different strategies. I had just assumed everyone was going to pit at the same time after the 3 laps and the fuel was done. Flambe and Jake Like, surely they have to pit at the end of this lap. Surely. Unless they know something that I don't, with regards to saving fuel or whatever. People could also short fill. Come in, pit, put less fuel in. It just depends on how confident you are that you don't have to do one more pit stop. There's one person ran out of fuel. I think Verdleth was in the lead after the pit stops. He went quite early. Did he short fill and he hasn't calculated it right? This has suddenly got interesting. I'm back in 4th now. Just got to stick to my strategy. Do some calculations in the next pit stop, which should be at the end of this lap. Don't overcomplicate it. I haven't been paying attention to what our lap times are as well. Probably should have. Oh, more have run out of fuel. Alright, we fuel again. I had 5 left then. So I can probably go to 55 to be safe. $139s, 140s. I'm not doing one. I'm not going to do a 137, I imagine. Brain's ticking over because we've got to think about the amount of time in the pit lane as well. That adds to the lap time and the time that we don't need to be driving around. Last stop should be 17.3 times the expected laps remaining, plus a bit of safety. Okay, that seems reasonable. Alright. Went a little bit early, because I don't think I need to go all the way and fully fuel it up. I've jumped Phoenix in the pit lane by doing that, because I still had 5 litres of fuel in the car when I came in for that pit stop. But given it's time-based, if you have a crash, you're going to be worse off in fuel, aren't you? If you end up taking longer for your lap or just driving slower. I don't know how this has worked out, because I've come out behind a load of people now at the same time in the pit stop, unless they've short fueled it and they're going to be stopping earlier than I am on this stint. That's a possibility. Yeah, interesting. The different strategies that people might be employing are making this interesting. We don't know where we're at. Small shakeout at the end. Missed it. Got that one. Okay, back up to 8th now. I'm curious what's going to happen with some of them in front and when they're going to pit. That pesky lamppost. I suppose if you were towards the back of the first lap, I didn't think about it because I was actually making good progress after that first lap, but if you're towards the back, you could have always come into the pits just to get away from people and jump them through the pit stops. Bloody hell. Damn, that's some good racing. That's what it's all about. Okay, so we're gonna have to pit again at the end of this lap. And there's probably gonna be 3 laps left, right? I'm curious how Mild has done what he's done, because he's managed to do 3 laps now from when he came out of the pits at the same time as me, but I didn't come into the pits at the same time as him when we went in, so curious. It's a back marker. Yes. So it should be another full fuel to take us to the end, right? $140. Oh, is it only going to be 2 more laps though? It's only going to be 2 more laps. So like 35? I don't need a full fuel. It will be 3. Is it? I'm not sure whether it's 1 extra lap once the timer runs out. Should we gamble? I'd have to pit again if it's gonna... It has to only be 2 more laps left. I'm gonna gamble. I'm gonna go on 30... I'm gonna go on 36 to be safe. A little bit of extra margin. Phoenix is short fueled. Came in, as did Realm. I've put a little bit extra in than Realm or Phoenix. Phoenix came in after me and has left before me. Phoenix might be like playing it aggressive, trying to cut it fine. This has to be the final stint. which would mean that ultimately the race has been 3 stints of 3 laps each and 1 stint of 2 laps, which surely means that someone could have done 2-lap stint earlier on to get like back on track sort of thing, and still not lose more time than they should have done in the pits. I assume. I don't know. This is all still very new. Some of these guys who are doing the championship, I suppose, might know little things. Oh, I didn't want that oversteer. We're having a good battle. This has to be the final lap. 50 seconds left. And I've been jumped by 2 people in that last pit stop phase. Phoenix, just because he short fueled it. I don't know about how Lemonade did it. Lemonade might have been done his 2-lap stint earlier, so he was always going to come back at the end. .8 left. I think we're going to be just about safe. Is Phoenix going to be safe though? Don't know what's happened to Verlith in this one. Yeah, looks like they're alright. Oh, missed it. Almost perfect. 0.5 left at the line. I don't know how Phoenix got into the pits after me, came out of the pits before me, and still managed to make that final stint work. I have so many questions about what other people... Yeah, if Phoenix had more coming into the pits, that's a good point. If Phoenix had more fuel, because I short filled earlier, didn't I? So it all comes back around. It all... Yeah, that's how it... If you fill up fully in every single pit stop, you'll have less to do on that final pit stop. Huh. How interesting. That was very interesting. It all catches up to you, doesn't it? Hey, top 5 though. Top 5's always possible. What a great race me and Realm had on track. Me and Phoenix had in the pit stops. Great race. GG Realm for some of that side-by-side action. That was fun. And that's the Benefactor Championship on 8th gear. That's what it's all about. In the Schlagen GT with refueling on different tracks. Yeah, interesting dynamics with the refueling. So I'm guessing also that some of the people ahead might have done their 2-lap stint earlier on, and they've just been going around being a little bit far behind because they've done their extra pit stop to everybody else, and then as it came to the end, it all fleshes out as it should. Interesting. Cool stuff. 8th gear pushing out the boat out again with the features, refueling. It's cool stuff.